From the deadly hunting abilities of an Oxalaia to the gigantic teeth of the Spinosaurus, here are the largest carnivorous dinosaurs on Earth. Number 10. Oxalaia. Paleontologists haven't really found many of its remains, but the snout and jaw fragments were enough to know that Oxalaia was a giant member of predatory dinosaurs known as spinosaurs. This creature was a carnivorous theropod that is believed to have lived during the Cretaceous period about 95 million years ago. Discovered in northeastern Brazil, it had jaws like a crocodile and would have had a skull about 1 meter long. The entire body would have been between 12 to 14 meters long, and it was estimated to weigh around 5 to 7 tons. If the larger estimate is correct, the dinosaur would have been the longest theropod dinosaur in South America, being just a little bit bigger than the smallest estimate of the Giganotosaurus. Its recent skeletal studies have revealed some striking similarities compared to a Spinosaurus and an irritator, so it has been classified as part of the same family, but it is frustrating that so little has been found. Oxalaia would probably be classified as a generalist and eat just about any kind of meat it could find, but like other spinosaurid species, it most likely preferred aquatic prey. Like its predecessors, it used to wait by the riverbanks and strike at its prey since it was so heavy and probably couldn't run very fast. Number 9. The Carcharodontosaurus. Like most of these dinosaurs, the pronunciation is tricky, but bear with me. This dinosaur was once thought to have the longest skull of all the theropods, the honor which later got transferred to the Giganotosaurus. Okay, so as a side note right now, there's a lot of confusion on how to pronounce this dinosaur. If you have another way of pronouncing it, let me know in the comments below. I'll explain why I'm pronouncing it like this later. Anyway, back to the Carcharodontosaurus, whose pronunciation is also tricky. This dinosaur lived about 100 million years ago and was named because of its long, sharp teeth. Also known as the shark-toothed or jagged-toothed lizard, it was one of the most feared and successful predators in what is now northern Africa. It had the ability to sprint up to 25 miles per hour and weighed approximately about 2 average-sized Asian elephants. The initial fossils that were discovered in the 1930s were eventually demolished in the World War II bombings. Paleontologists had to rely on the older anatomical descriptions until 1996, when a new specimen was found. Interestingly, the newer reports suggested that Carcharodontosaurus was even bigger than it was once thought. It was slightly larger than the T-Rex in North America, and it's most likely that it would have come into contact with the largest carnivorous dinosaur of all time, the Spinosaurus. These would have been some pretty epic battles. Number 8. The Chilantaisaurus. This big guy is believed to have been a fearsome predator. It fed mostly on humongous herbivores, which it would attack with its powerful jaws and talons. It is thought to have existed some 92 million years ago in the Late Cretaceous period. Its fossil remains have been found in what is now Mongolia in Asia. This little-known theropod dinosaur was also featured in a Japanese picture book series, Umasou. It spanned around 11 to 13 meters in length and weighed about 16 tons. Since its body was too large for chasing its prey, the animal is believed to be an ambush predator, trapping its prey and then pouncing on it. Its classification still isn't clear, and it was still being scrutinized by scientists up until 2012. And now for the Tyrannotitan. But first, if you are new here, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell for more videos like these. Number 7. The Tyrannotitan. The name of this dinosaur means tyrant titan, and it was discovered in Argentina. It is classified as part of the genus that includes the likes of other giant theropods, such as the Mapusaurus. It was believed to have lived during the primary Cretaceous period on the South American continent. The fossils were first discovered in Chubut province, Argentina in 2005. However, only a rough skeletal structure could be put together since these remains were almost irrecoverable. Recent studies have revealed that this giant theropod could genetically be related to other forms from the late Cretaceous period, or perhaps evolved to develop an anatomy similar to a Tyrannosaurus. Although its exact anatomy still remains questionable to paleontologists, this big lizard is estimated to have been over 40 feet long. The head structure would have been narrow, and it probably had about 60 sharp teeth. The tooth structure is dense and broader compared to other members of its genus. It possessed relatively shorter arms and a powerful tail, which probably helped it to swim. Its main prey could have been sauropods or primitive herbivores. With the current information available, it is estimated that it could run about 20 miles per hour. Number 6. Acrocanthosaurus. You might be more familiar with this dinosaur than you think, especially if you live in North America. Dinosaur Valley State Park in Glen Rose, Texas has tons of fossilized tracks. Most of the footprints probably belong to the Acrocanthosaurus. This dinosaur was one of the largest carnivores, almost as deadly and fierce as a T-Rex or a Spinosaurus. It was discovered in North America in Oklahoma in the 1940s. The animal was estimated to be over 35 feet long and weigh around 5 to 6 tons. It had unique spinal anatomy which gave it the name high-spined lizard. The entire spinal region was spiked with neural spines that were each about a foot long, which is believed to be meant for supporting the hump over its back. Paleontologists also suggest that the overgrown hump might have been a mating characteristic to attract females, or perhaps a signaling accessory to warn the pack against approaching predators. The neuroimaging studies of an Acrocanthosaurus has revealed that it possessed an S-shaped brain with a strong sense of smell. This might have been a competitive advantage for detecting and hunting its prey. Fun fact, the Acrocanthosaurus still remains one of the few prehistoric creatures whose brain has been studied in detail by using tomographic techniques. Its short little forelimbs had very limited motion, but could pull things towards itself easily. It is believed that they came up to victims from behind and then sank their claws into it while biting down. Number 5. The Saurophaganax. Also known as the lizard-eating master, this dino lived and hunted in North America during the late Jurassic period some 150 million years ago. A few animal remains were discovered during the early 1930s in Oklahoma and New Mexico. The animal lived in the woodlands, but their remains are pretty rare. It was estimated to be about 13 meters long, and paleontologists explained that their appetite must have been enormous. It is believed to have been very territorial and aggressive, which is maybe why it remained restricted to smaller populations or colonies. Saurophaganax bones are similar to those of the smaller Allosaurus, but clearly this one was much bigger in size. It is even suggested that the Saurophaganax might have evolved from the Allosaurus. The Saurophaganax walked on 2 legs and may have stolen kills from less talented or smaller carnivorous dinosaurs, but could still probably kill on its own. It's become quite a popular dinosaur recently, even appearing on multiple dinosaur TV series such as Planet Dinosaur and Dinosaur King. Number 4. The Mapusaurus. The Mapusaurus is one of the largest carnivorous dinosaurs to be discovered. It is ranked at number 4, still a little bit away from the Spinosaurus, which still wears the crown. It had knife-like teeth for slicing off chunks of flesh, and it may have even worked in groups to take down even larger prey like the Argentinosaurus. It was about 10 meters long and weighed about 3 tons. So here's something that's pretty interesting. During an Argentinian-Canadian excavation, paleontologists discovered the remains of up to 7 Mapusaurus all together in the same bed of rock. Normally predators of this size would live alone, but this clue suggests that they all lived and hunted together. It is estimated to have reached a top speed of 30 miles per hour. If the speed estimates are true, the Mapusaurus would have been much faster compared to a T-Rex and apparently quick enough to ambush a larger herbivore. Number 3. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Perhaps the most famous dinosaur on Earth and featured in all of the Jurassic Park movies, this mighty beast lived in western North America some 68 million years ago. It had short little arms and could sprint at a top speed of 25 miles per hour. It was about 12 meters long and about 5 meters tall, give or take, and weighed up to 20,000 pounds. Contrary to a typical V-shaped jawline like in other theropods, a T-Rex had a U-shaped structure which provided the animal with an increased bite force. It had serrated conical teeth which were perfect for gripping and ripping out flesh in just one bite. Because of its hunting abilities and ruthless instinct, it is often referred to as the tyrant lizard. Over 50 specimens of Tyrannosaurus Rex have been identified, which has helped scientists to learn a lot more about their biology and habits than other dinosaurs. Number 2. The Giganotosaurus. Okay, so for the pronunciation, some people say it's Giganotosaurus, like gigabyte, or play on words of giant because it's so big, so Gigantosaurus, or Giganotosaurus, like it has no toe. So I did some research, and the paleontologists who classified and had the honor of naming this dinosaur, Rodolfo Coria and Leonardo Salgado, are on tape pronouncing it as Giganotosaurus, so I'm going with their pronunciation. This dinosaur was an absolute beast, no matter how fearsome the T-Rex might have been. The Giganotosaurus was big, strong, and fast. They lived about 98 million years ago during the Late Cretaceous period. However, there's one thing you should remember. A Giganotosaurus should not be mistaken for a Gigantosaurus, which is a lesser-known herbivore that lived in England. So if you thought there was a pronunciation like that, you were correct. It was just a different dinosaur. It had a huge skull structure and a powerful jaw equipped with jagged teeth. Its narrow snout had excellent smelling abilities, which gave it a huge advantage over a lot of its prey. It also had long spines on its back and short arms with 3-fingered claws. Its strong back limbs with heavy bone structure indicate it probably was a good sprinter, with an estimated cruising speed of 31 miles per hour. Researchers suggest its thin, pointy tail would have given the animal some agility on sharp turns. The weight estimates are very difficult to make and are often based on tomographic approximations. The animal was first featured in a nature journal in 1995, and fossils analyzed were reported to weigh between 6 to 8 tons, with the head-to-tail length extending over a whopping 40 feet. However, a more recent estimate in the Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology has claimed that a Giganotosaurus weighed nearly 15 tons. Number 1. The Spinosaurus. All hail the mighty Spinosaurus! This was the largest carnivorous theropod to ever live on the planet. The animal haunted the swamps of the North African continent during the mid-Cretaceous period about 112 to 97 million years ago. 2 species of Spinosaurus have been reported and named after places they were discovered. Number 1, Spinosaurus aegyptiacus, the Egyptian spine lizard, and number 2, Spinosaurus maroccanus, the Moroccan spine lizard. The name spine lizard serves as an appropriate description because it had very long spines over its back that were estimated to be up to 7 feet long. Each spine was joined to the other by a cartilage-like structure called a sail because it looks like one. It is also suggested that a Spinosaurus was perhaps the first evolved carnivorous dinosaur to be able to swim. In fact, recent studies have suggested that a Spinosaurus had a compact bone structure, flat claws, conical teeth, and a narrow snout, which was ideal for preying on aquatic animals. But land prey was fine too. The weight estimates have shown that the animal weighed over 23 tons and was up to 50 feet long. No wonder it dominated the earth. Thanks for watching! Which dinosaur is your favorite? Let us know in the comments below. Remember to subscribe and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!